Hi, and welcome to episode 14 of the Hope and Mum and Dad podcast. I'm Becky, and this is Fuzz, and we're here to talk to you about IVF, infertility, trying to conceive, and everything else in between. We spoke to a really interesting guest this week, Chloe from Embaby Art, at Embaby_art on Instagram. She was really cool. But before we go into that and share the interview with you, we just wanted to let you know a little bit about what we've been up to this week.
Yes. So we had a phone call. Well, we didn't have a phone call. Becky made the phone call.
Mm-hmm.
You phoned the Wales Fertility Clinic
Institute. Mm-hmm.
And do you want to tell everyone about the update that we got?
Yeah, so anyone who's been listening to the previous episodes will know that they asked us to call back in September. So on Tuesday at 9 o'clock, September the 1st, I was on the phone and I called them and I spoke to them, explained about calling back, and they had me on hold for a while and they were like, just a minute. And I thought, like, my heart, I felt really nervous. I thought that maybe they were going to get the appointment book, but then I realised that isn't an appointment book. It would just all be online probably. Anyway, for some reason I was really nervous. They got back to me and they said that we are seeing new patients now, but they are obviously prioritizing older patients older than 35 maybe, and oncology patients too. So it depends on how many people they have to see and how many they can get through. And they're looking at calling us.
I hate it when they say that though, because that doesn't give you any kind of window or anything. That's just saying, yeah, we'd love to, but our border string's too big.
Yeah, it's really vague, but I'm taking it because they said they'd call us back for an appointment in the end of September or October, but they would definitely see us before the end of the year. So
that's good.
Yeah.
So
good news. Woo!
So let's just hash out the timeline for this kind of stuff. Say we get our appointment.
Yeah.
September. Remember, so they'll call you at the end of September.
Before maybe. COVID, if they called you for an appointment, the appointment would be within 2 weeks.
Okay, so, and they said that they might call us at the end of September.
Yeah.
Or the end of October.
Or October.
November, September, October. Yeah, so September. Or in the middle, any time in October.
I guess.
So say we did get a call, the beginning of October 1st, generally, right?
My sister's birthday.
Yeah. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Halloween's the 31st of October.
I know, but it's the month that counts. Right. So, so we get our appointment on the 1st of October.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, you get your actual appointment. So 14th of October.
Day after my brother's birthday.
Okay.
Autumn babies.
So 14th, yeah. So say we had that appointment on the 14th. Then what do? They they get you in and they just go, hi, paperwork.
Yeah.
And not actually do anything.
Yeah.
So it's just like, hi, do you still want a baby? Like, yes.
Sign this in case we kill you by accident.
And then what?
And then
2 weeks later they go, do you want to come back and have another chat?
I guess we go in for signing our papers, and then I think we have a conference call on video to talk about our treatment plan, how they're going to treat us.
But it all takes months. Like, I remember we needed to check something with a doctor, and we had to wait 6 months just to talk, just to be like, yeah, is that cool? Yeah.
Yeah, I think once we get in there, hopefully it'll be quicker than we think. But maybe...
But what is the general breakdown to it? It's like, get your appointment, 2 weeks later you go in. At that appointment, they say, do you still want a baby? You go, yeah. And then nothing happens.
I think we'll be lucky if we have an embryo transferred this side of Christmas.
But they said that they'd see us before. Like,
yeah,
what's
they'd
the general?
See us. If they see us with an appointment for signing papers, that's seeing us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Remember, you've got COVID tests in between now as well.
So what does that mean?
They test us before we go into the clinic, I guess. Or before I go in to have a scan or... anything.
So have you got to isolate?
I don't know. We'll find out.
But what I'm asking is what is the general normal procedure? You get your appointment 2 weeks later, you go in. Nothing actually happens. You just go in.
I don't know. We'll have to anyone who's listening who's been through it before,
No, you know.
I
Roughly.
don't know. That's why I'm telling you I don't know, because we've not done it before. So I think a couple of weeks.
And then what? And then they take.
So after we've had signed the papers, done the treatment planning appointment,
You have to take
done all the
injections.
COVID tests, then we wait for my period to come, and then I guess we start treatment. So injections or medicine, like tablets.
What does that mean, though? Start treatment. So you generally, what do you think that means anyway? Like you have your period, then you go in after, like a day or two after.
No, they give you a medication, and on the day your period starts, I think you start taking it, and then after a few days of taking it, then I think they start seeing you regularly for scans to check your lining. And then depending on whether you're on, I don't really know enough about it.
No, but
long
what
protocol,
do you know
short protocol.
We're not telling people facts. We're just spitballing what we think happens.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
You don't know.
No, I don't know.
You've read so much about
No,
all
I
this
haven't.
stuff.
I don't know what happens.
You have.
I know there's a long protocol and a short protocol. I don't know how long they are. I don't know.
You do.
No,
You're
I
just scared
don't.
to say it in case
I'm
you're
not
wrong.
scared to say. I actually don't know.
So you don't have any ballpark figure on like how long it takes to get the transfer done or anything?
No, I don't.
And all those things that you've been reading and
What things?
you're constantly reading about people's procedures and how they do things. You know the difference between ICSI and SNCSI and whatever. You know. Come on.
No, I don't know.
I don't know. So just give me a rough. Google it now.
I don't know.
Google it then.
Oh
I want to
my
know roughly
God.
how long it's going to be.
Let's see. Okay, talk in between then.
So Becky, even though she knows the answer
I
to this
don't know.
already, is Googling as I'm talking because, like I've said in the previous podcasts, I've just been putting it off and like, I know it's real, but because of everything's been so topsy-turvy and upside down.
Here we are.
Here we go.
6 to 8 weeks is the...
From what?
Keep talking.
Yeah, so because it hasn't been that real, well, it has. I've just been putting it off and saying to myself, don't get all obsessed about it, and don't. Thanks, computer, for making a noise during a podcast that I was off. I've been basically pushing it aside, like ignoring it, like thinking I'm not going to think about it because if I get excited about it and then I get, fixate on a date, then I'll be gutted if like things change. And because everything's so up in the air and topsy-turvy, I have just literally pushed it aside and gone, if it happens, cool. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
So you're telling me now you're getting excited, is that it?
No, I'm not.
It says on this website, an average IVF cycle takes about 6 to 8 weeks from consultation to transfer.
Yeah, but in the NHS, they literally
So if
need
we
a
got
consultation to check your name and stuff, like sometimes.
Yeah. If we got seen in October, for example, then that's 4 weeks of October. So maybe we'd have a transfer in December.
That'd be a nice Christmas present, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. But obviously, once you've had the transfer, you're not necessarily pregnant. You've still got your 2 week wait. It could work. It might not work.
So let's do the math. Let's do the calendar maths now. How, like, what sort of date would we need to be seen by to have all the bits and pieces done and have the 2 week wait done before Christmas?
I think October, like my sister's birthday.
Yeah. So what was the thing?
6 to 8 weeks, it said.
But then after that, you need to wait 2 more weeks after that to kind of.
So 10 weeks to find out if you're pregnant maximum.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Is that right though?
Well,
So it's 8 weeks for that, then 2 weeks.
Once it's in you.
So 8 weeks is the time for consultation to treatment to transfer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then.
Or 6 weeks.
But then you have, but 8, we'll go worst case scenario. So 8 weeks. Then you have to add 2 weeks on to be kind of sure that it's, to have a little bit of confidence that it's kind of worked.
No, to know whether or not it's worked, not confidence. To find out if it's worked or not.
Okay.
Within 2 weeks, you know whether the pregnancy has worked or it hasn't.
Yeah, but then you've still got that that uncertainty window 3-month thing, right?
No, because once they put the embryo in you, you have something called the 2 week wait, which would happen.
But they put the embryo in you at 8 weeks.
No.
Of this thing.
On the 8th week.
Yeah.
Of your treatment, they put the embryo in you, but the embryo is only like maximum 5 days old, 6 days old,
Yeah.
then you've got 2 weeks to wait
Yeah.
to find out if you're still pregnant. Because when they put it in you, that's an embryo,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
a baby,
yeah,
so
yeah,
you're
yeah.
pregnant.
Yeah.
But within the 2 weeks, it's either implanted and stayed within your womb,
Yeah.
or it's not worked and it has
So,
left your womb.
based on what we've got here,
Mm-hmm.
if we got seen in October, that's 8 weeks. Say we got seen middle of October. Say we had a consultation the 1st of October.
Yeah.
8 weeks from that would be 1st of December.
Yeah.
Then we'd have to, and that's when it would be in you.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'd have to wait 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's 10. So that would be
The 14th
the second
of
week.
December.
Yeah. So theoretically, if things go fast
Yeah.
and wherever, we could know by September, mid December,
Mm-hmm.
if there's a successful transferred embryo in you.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
But even not to jump the gun again, but on that, even with natural conceptions,
Mm-hmm.
is that how you say? Natural,
Yeah.
yeah. You don't count your chickens, do you, until it's like 3 months in, which means like, if we know it's worked on mid-December,
I think
we've still got to wait 3 months to be like, because they don't they say you should wait 3 months before you tell people and all that kind of stuff.
that's like a traditional old-fashioned thing to do. Well, not old-fashioned, but some people do that. If you conceive naturally, you wait till roughly 12 weeks for your first ever scan
Yeah.
to ever see the.
So we shouldn't
baby.
get too excited really until
Well,
we've done that.
With IVF, you get an early scan.
Yeah.
I think it's called a viability scan.
Mm.
At about 6 or 7 weeks.
And if it looks like it's not going to work, then they'll.
I think
Get
you'll
it out.
know. Yeah. Well, sometimes it happens naturally, and sometimes they get it out. Yeah.
And 6 weeks of it after it being in you.
6 or 7 weeks that you have the scan. Once you've, say if the 2 week wait works and we find out we're pregnant, then after another 4 weeks, because 2 add 4 is 6.
Middle of January.
Yeah. Then you have your scan
Mm.
to check everything's okay. And then if it's okay, then they discharge you from that IVF unit and you just treated
You're
like
on your own.
a usual pregnant woman. Yeah.
So that's not that far away, really. I mean, this year's gone by in a blink of an eye.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because it's been horrendous.
Yeah.
Horrible. But yeah, so if all things go well, we could know.
We might be pregnant in 2020.
That's a bit of an annoying thing for the holidays, though.
Why?
Well, because you don't know, do you, if it's like
No, that's fine.
worked. Wouldn't it be awesome if you knew that it worked by like Christmas Day?
Yeah, it would.
And then
We
what
could.
timeline, if we're going on this optimistic timeline of everything going fast and smooth or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
which I shouldn't hang on to too much, but what
Sounds like you are.
well, I'm gonna maybe a little bit, but I'm gonna let it go afterwards. But what birthday would that give you roughly?
So if they put it in you
In me, don't think it's going in me.
if they put it in, if you get a transfer in November, end of November, call it December. So 9 months from then.
Is it actually 9 months or 9 months and 2 weeks?
I don't really know.
No.
December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August.
Is that? I can't remember. You're a teacher. Remember you said that basically it's luck of the draw.
Yeah.
Like sometimes if you're a teacher, it can work out quite well.
Oh, you mean with maternity and time off?
Yeah. Is that a good time for it to
Not
like
really. If you're a teacher, ideally you want to give birth in September because you've just had 6 weeks off, and then you come back maybe for a week or two, and then you give birth and you're off again.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We can't control that.
No one can. Some people are lucky.
But the date that we got that we worked out roughly was when?
Just now.
Yeah.
August.
August, September. That's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we shouldn't hang on to it too much anyway, because who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Schools have gone back, so the infection rate could go up,
Yeah.
and that could, spiral out of control again. So
Yeah,
touch
we'll
wood.
see. Fingers crossed. Whee! Yeah.
Shouldn't do that. It was horrendous noise for people
Sorry.
listening. No, it was me. I tapped the table.
I thought you meant my wee.
No.
As in my whoop, not my wee. Not my urine.
You've just weed yourself.
I haven't.
There we go. So
Amanda.
we're just talking about, we're just pipe dreaming, trying to be
Mhm.
optimistic. It's been a while since I've been optimistic. Everything's been so rubbish.
Yeah, so that was good news.
Yeah.
And last week it feels like we haven't recorded for ages because last week we were in North Wales with my family.
North Wales.
Yeah, in Felinheli,
Felinheli.
near
Ble mae
Anglesey.
Felinheli gyda fi?
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know any. I don't know any more Welsh.
that was the right sentence, I guess.
Where
the
is-
right question.
Where is Felinheli?
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I will be posting. I forgot about this. I will be posting a bit of a travel kind of vlog type thing.
Mhm.
It was pretty much torrential downpour, torrential rain most of the week, and it was not your normal sunny building sandcastles
We had-
holiday, but it was fun.
Yeah,
and
we had two
I was,
really gorgeous days, which is lovely.
yeah, and I used it as a bit of a training camp for my Ironman, which I am raising money for Mind with. I'm entering Ironman UK next year. Oh my god, my race is in July. That would be so stressful.
No, it wouldn't.
It will. Training for an Ironman and just like
Might give
having a
birth in
pregnant-
Preston.
We can't have that happen.
Why? Because you don't want an English baby.
Well, no. No,
It's half anyway.
it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. We'll
There's
come
a
out with
high-
a Welsh flag.
There's a high chance that it could come in July if it's if it's due in August, or it could come later.
So let me just get that bit out of the way. Doing an Ironman race to raise money for mental health and mind. And on the flip side, I'll probably be quite stressed and pushing my mental health to the limits at the same time
don't
as well.
think-
But I would be worried about that. Like,
I don't think you would be stressed then because we'd just be excited. It'd be probably worse if it came earlier.
yeah, but does that happen with IVF in general?
I'm not sure, but I know it does happen with people with thyroid disorders.
Yay! I get a text halfway through my swim or something, just like, oh, I'm just gonna pop to the hospital.
Yeah, I can't.
To be honest,
can't
the
see you at the finish line.
Ironman
Sorry,
races
babe.
take like up to 10 hours and stuff sometimes, so maybe you could just go and whiz off.
Come back
sort
with the
it out,
baby. If only it were that simple.
That's a. Oh, who knows? Who knows? Anyway, so
It is what it is.
yeah. You can, if you want to be good eggs and help me out and help me raise some money for mine, then you can go and do that by the link in the description. If you're listening on wherever you listen to it, podcast, if it's audio only, you can do it wherever the link is. We're on so many different platforms; it's hard to keep track.
Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah. But we are also on YouTube. A lot of people that listen don't realize we're on YouTube, and we we Skype and FaceTime people, so you can actually see our faces. You can see how silly I look right now, trying to do the maths.
And when we film late, like today, then I'm just a hot mess.
I woke up like this. So you can see us and see what's going on and see the amazing guests that we have on. And the link for the Mind Ironman stuff will be in the thing there. So I think that's pretty much
Yeah, that's us
that's
of
us,
late.
innit? Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll send you over now to listen to our interview with Chloe from Embaby Art. And I hope you enjoy it.
One last thing before we jump into the episode, I completely forgot to mention it in the introduction because we got a little bit carried away. But
We're doing a giveaway. We've teamed up with Chloe from @mbaby_art, and we're giving you your chance to win your own commissioned piece of artwork. If you're interested in finding out more about this competition, then head over to our Instagram page @HopingMumandDad. And if you're listening in the future, then unfortunately the competition is probably closed. But still listen to this episode because we've had a wonderful chat with Chloe, and go and check out her Instagram page @mbaby_art. And of course, follow us on Instagram too @HopingMumandDad.
hope you enjoy the episode.
Bye. Hi, Chloe. Thanks for coming on the podcast. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, thank you for having me. So I'm Chloe. I run Embaby Art, so at Embaby_art on Instagram. I'm a midwife, and I also paint watercolor, embryo, blastocysts, and ultrasound scan images.
Awesome.
What an intro! Boom.
Yeah.
And we're off.
Yeah. I thought that was amazing. Such a good plug. But I just I wanted to say how beautiful your artwork is. I thought I mean, I appreciate art. I think I love it anyway.
We're both artists, trained formally, aren't we?
Yeah, I guess technically not. We don't. Well, you practice, but I don't.
I got
But
a degree
anyway,
in macaroni art. So.
we digress. Your artwork is gorgeous, and I was first told about you from a couple who we had on the podcast, Caitlin and Lee, who have quite a couple of your artworks in their home. It's really cool. So I just wondered if you could tell us kind of how you got started with Embaby.
Yeah, so one of my friends that I used to work with was going through IVF, and she knew that I had painted pet portraits already. So I had a business previously on painting people's sort of cats and dogs. And then she just asked, could you paint my little blastocyst image? I'd really like to use it as a not a gender reveal, a pregnancy announcement.
Mm-hmm.
Said, yeah, of course. So painted that. She absolutely loved it. And then another girl I worked with also wanted the same sort of thing. Done that for her, and then they both said, you could have a sort of business idea here. Lots of people could really cherish these. So yeah, MBB was born from that.
It's amazing because it is such an important part of anyone's journey, and so unique to fertility treatment, because not everyone gets to see their blastocyst or their embryo, do they?
Yeah, and I think even when they do see it, it's quite a small sort of grey photo, which is obviously something to cherish as well, but the fact that we can really make it bigger and sparkly or rainbow or whatever colours they want to sort of fit in with their home, so it's maybe just a bit nicer to put up and all.
It's amazing. So when you do your work, obviously people usually approach you through your Instagram or through friends. Do you work closely with those people to find out like what they want from their image, or do you just have creative license?
So I'd say probably mostly I have creative license. I always ask people their colour preferences and if they want any sort of sparkly, shimmery metallic paint on top or not. Most people just say, I actually kind of like these colours. If you don't think they work, tell me what you think. So most people are quite happy for me to just create something beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. They are so beautiful. And then I've noticed as well on your Instagram too, you also do not just blastocysts and embryos, but sonograms.
Yes, yeah. So I started doing the sonograms recently. So I do the routine sonograms and then the 3 and 4D type ones as well. Yeah, I've been really enjoying it actually.
Yeah, you're such a talented artist. It's such a skill to have. It's amazing. But what interested me most about it is that it's something, like you said, to cherish. That word is so important because, like you said, when people are undergoing fertility treatment, it's not any more important when they actually successfully have a baby, but it's just so much more. I don't know, you've been through such a struggle, and sometimes maybe those embryos or blastocysts are not successful. So kind of, what's your opinion on that, and how do you feel that that's like supporting or affecting people in general?
I think it's a great comfort to people and a big support. I've had lots of messages from people who've bought the images, and it's just that way to cherish their baby. Other family members didn't know about the pregnancy, or people feel that they maybe don't want to tell other people about it, but they just want that little memory of their baby that unfortunately come to be. So yeah.
Because theoretically, as soon as there's a blastocyst or an embryo, that's life. Yeah. And you've got that unique perspective being a midwife.
Yeah.
So how do you see that in a daily basis in your midwife kind of, I don't want to say your real job, but your kind of day job and night job? But how does that like change? How does it affect your artwork and how do you see that? I guess you must see it a lot in your line of work.
I'm sorry. See, what do you mean?
Like when people experience loss, do you?
Yeah. So I think it's just understanding that obviously as a midwife we tend, and specifically where I work in the hospital, we tend to see later term losses rather than early losses. But it's just having that appreciation that actually if it's a baby quite late on in the pregnancy or an embryo that's days after it's been transferred, it is that person's baby or that couple's baby, and you just need to be really sensitive about it. And I think, yeah, it's a life is a life, really, isn't it?
Yeah, the other awesome thing I noticed you do is you really support the work of Tommy's, and quite. Do you want to tell everyone a little bit about that? Because I don't want to steal your thunder.
Tommy's are a fantastic charity, so they fund loads of research and stillbirth, prevention of stillbirth, carriage as well, and just provide a wealth of resources for health professionals and parents to be. They have a research centre. They're just fantastic. I love them.
Yeah, it's really good, and I just think it's amazing, like that this kind of art form is helping those people kind of process that grief if they've experienced loss, as well as cherish something that has happened.
Yeah, it's like a step working through the grief as well. I think it maybe helps with the healing.
Yeah.
Because it almost comes into the sort of category of like art therapy, right?
Yeah, of course. I totally agree.
Yeah, it's an interesting. I think a lot of art therapy normally requires like the someone who has suffered the loss or the grief to sort of do the work normally for art therapy. But I've got a question for you. How did you become a midwife, and what made? Well, I mean, you obviously went to midwife school, but I mean, like, you didn't get a Kinder Surprise and just pull out a midwife certificate. But what made you want to become a midwife, and what's the story behind that?
So it's a really difficult question, and actually when you go for your interview at university to be interviewed for the course, they ask you this question, and I don't remember what I answered. I feel like it was just in me, to be honest. I was always really interested in biology and human biology at school, in particular the reproductive system and that sort of thing. And I felt like I wanted to be kind of in some sort of medical profession, but not necessarily work with primarily unwell people.
Yeah.
And I felt that midwifery, although obviously women going through pregnancy, and obviously babies as well, they can have health conditions and there can be things, but generally it's a process where everyone is well, and generally there's very good outcomes.
It's a positive place to be generally, yeah.
Lifting and rewarding place to be, yeah.
Becky was actually, wanted to be a midwife at one point, didn't you?
Yeah.
Like really bad, and almost did. It's just I can't remember why you didn't. I
feel like this is the start of a great relationship, Chloe, even though we're other sides of the UK, because, like when it came to finishing my degree, I just did art, which is, I say it's,
how dare you?
It's not vocational, is it, So, there's not necessarily a job apart from an artist at the end. You have to really work for it.
Maybe that could be cleaned up a little bit. Like fine art is generally very hard to get into unless you've got like a super rich family and you can just get in and like not pay for stuff for years.
Yeah. So after a spat teaching abroad and meeting this fella over here, I was like juggling midwifery and teaching, and in the end I went down the teaching route, and it was mainly because I was being lazy and thought, another 3 years at uni. But I always think, what if? But I completely understand like your points of view in wanting to do it, because although there's always those kind of really difficult moments that you must see, some of the things you've seen must be really harrowing. There's also so much joy and positivity.
Yeah, it's a very lovely part of the hospital to work in. Yeah. Very.
Do you have to go on call as well? Do you go to people's houses for home births and stuff?
No, so that would be more. I don't know how it is in different parts of the UK, but I previously worked in England and now I'm back home working in Scotland, and would just be the community midwives that are on call for home births. So they would see you antenatally, postnatally, and then obviously if you were having a home birth, they'd see you at home for that. But no, I do just work in the hospital. So I work between the midwifery-led unit, so the sort of low-risk birth centre, and then the sort of higher-risk labour ward as well.
Oh, cool. That's really interesting.
And got another question. Do you have, do you know about IVF babies as a midwife, or is every pregnancy just a regular old pregnancy?
Yeah, so we obviously have people coming in who have had IVF, but they are. It depends on everyone's specific circumstance, to be honest, because obviously with IVF, generally you could be more predisposed to pregnancy conditions such as preeclampsia, for example. So yeah,
Are people chatty and they kind of let you know, like,
Sorry?
the women that are pregnant, are they kind of chatty and sort of let you know that they've gone, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. It's always on their medical records anyway. And yeah, usually people always want to tell you about their journey. Actually, I've not had anyone that's not wanted to chat about it. They've always been really forthcoming about it, and talked about what they've gone through. And it's honestly just fantastic how far they've come, and it's lovely to see them at the end of that journey as well. Yeah, it's lovely.
I got so many questions popping into my head. So, as an artist, we touched upon briefly how you went from painting other things and then moving into blastocysts and that kind of stuff. Did you bring it up to work with your colleagues and stuff in work? And how was that? Was that kind of like an easy conversation, or were you worried about how it might come across, or?
Yeah, so I think I was quite worried actually. I almost didn't believe my friends when they said I should have gone and created Embaby. I was kind of like, oh really? I don't know. Do these, like, I think maybe because I actually haven't gone through IVF or anything myself, I think maybe I didn't initially have that appreciation for how much that piece of artwork could mean to someone who is going through it. But yeah, I sort of slowly started to tell my colleagues, and then the girls that I had painted the first two blastocysts for, they obviously showed everyone. They were really, really pleased.
Yeah.
I got some really lovely feedback, so I was really pleased with how everyone had received it.
Yeah, it's nice to hear, and you get most clients through referrals and like word of mouth and that kind of thing. I only mention it because I'm a photographer, and I've had I do a lot of different things right now, and including like film work and stuff. But back in my younger years, I was like doing jobs for different companies and trying to find my way and trying things out. Never stuck with any of them because they were all horribly low paid and didn't treat you very well. But I have noticed, and I wanted to ask your opinion on it, but there seems to be a lot of there seems to be some companies that will send photographers round maternity wards and kind of like go really hard on sales sort of pitches, and it really bothers me, and I'm trying to not swear, but it really bothers me how they kind of play on vulnerable mothers, and they're not even like very well trained photographers most of the time either. So do you see that? Do you have an opinion on that?
Yes, so there's a specific company in particular I'm thinking about, and they
Sounds like Chocolate Bar or something, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
I was thinking the same one. Yeah.
Malibu.
Women and partners in with the whole, we've got a little free bag here, take this, no obligation to follow through with anything else. They get some nappies, some creams, some little vouchers or whatever, fab. So they get that at the beginning of their pregnancy. And then once they've had the baby, some hospitals, not all hospitals, but they are allowed onto the postnatal wards. So you have women who've gone through the mill with labour and birth, shattered, or even women that have just, everything's gone swimmingly. They are also very tired.
I've heard it's hard work, yeah.
All that sort of thing. And they can be quite insensitive, quite pushy with the sales. Often, I feel personally, targeting vulnerable families as well. So these ridiculously expensive packages, and they're not, it's a couple of £100 sometimes for these photos. So it's difficult because we don't really have the power to.
Yeah, well, I just thought shouldn't like it's horrible because I imagine the people that work for these companies, I feel for them. They need a job. They're trying to do the best that they can and stuff. And most of these types of jobs rely on those people to be pushing it and get the sale. But if there was some sort of blanket kind of like, not like ban on like third parties, like I think it's horrendous. Like going into women who were just giving birth for 12 hours and they're barely with it. And then people, do you love your baby? Do you want a picture of your baby? Or, you know what I mean? Like they kind of word it in a way to sort of play on people's emotions and stuff. And I was just surprised that that's possible.
I think it's dying out, to be honest.
Good.
I know the hospital I work at the moment, it doesn't exist there, and it's absolutely brilliant. And I know there have been a lot of online campaigns. There's been people who have really horrid stories of women who have suffered losses, and then the rep has appeared in the room. Oh, do you have any photo? And like, oh, I actually, I don't have my baby with me. It's just been a lot of campaigns off of the back of those kind of posts. And I think hospitals are really clamping down on it now. So I think that will slowly fizzle out.
So, like, just as well, because you work in a hospital, you'd know the answer to this. If I had a company and I wanted to basically get people to sign up for newborn pitches or whatever, which I never would do, I could anyone can just walk onto a ward and...
No.
So they allow the companies to do it?
Yeah, so the companies have, again, to the best of my knowledge, and I'm not speaking on behalf of the hospitals,
This is your personal opinion, I know.
Personal opinion, but I think they have contracts with the hospitals or maybe with the NHS or something like that. All maternity wards are locked wards, so you can't just come on and off of them. You need to have swipe access or be sort of buzzed in and out, and it's very, it is strictly regulated who comes on. So yeah, I think it's a contract thing with the NHS.
Because the other thing that's getting more popular, which hopefully isn't part of any of those schemes, is birth photography, isn't it? Not just like
it's huge in America.
Children after they've been born, but during labour. And what's that like for you?
So I've only experienced it once, and it was with a lovely doula that I worked with at my previous hospital when I worked in the southwest. So this is the couple who are having the baby hire the photographer, so it's nothing to do with the hospital. And it's really great. I really love it, and I really love looking at the photos online. It's amazing. I just think it's brilliant. I think we should have more of it here. Obviously, since the COVID outbreak and stuff, the amount of people allowed in for the birth is limited now. But it's fantastic, and it really normalizes birth as well. So, birth is birth, however you birth your baby. So they really capture all different types of birth, and I love it.
Yeah, when we first started trying, I started following loads of accounts like that, and I was just like, wow, like it's so raw. Like I've never seen images quite like it, because they're literally like just the purest form of like pain and joy, and like you can just kind of feel the tension and the passion and the in the moment, can't you?
And it's something that you would need to think about beforehand.
Yeah,
definitely.
And
so you couldn't just say, oh, by the way, I think I'll do that now. But which brings me on to how people might think about commissioning you for stuff.
Yeah, I think it's really mixed in terms of commissioning. So I think some people hadn't even thought about it or didn't even think it's an option. They see my Instagram, or a sort of friend shows what they've had done, and I get a lot of people that way. And I'll get a lot of lovely messages of people who haven't actually gone through IVF, just saying, "Oh, your work is amazing. That's really lovely. You must bring such comfort to families." And so it's really nice.
Yeah, it's so nice that you can just, I don't know, it's just, especially for those transfers that don't work, or the pregnancies that don't continue. They're just so, there's no monetary value that you can place on them, really. You're giving them something invaluable, and it's that tangible thing that they can take home and be like, oh, this could have been, and it was, and not for long, but it was something.
Have you ever been commissioned to paint something? I say something, like paint a blastocyst or whatever, and then delivered the same human being?
No. So it was very close. So my who had the very first Embaby blastocyst painting. I was supposed to be around when her little one was born, but it ended up circumstances changed, and he actually came a bit earlier, and I was away. But yeah, that's the closest I got.
That would be awesome, though, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? That would be like,
Second one I painted, I actually have a photo on my Instagram if you guys scroll back. His mum came and found me. I was on labour ward one night, and she was like, "Can we just take a photo with him?" So I've got there's a photo of me holding him, but I didn't deliver him. But that was lovely.
That's so
Yeah,
cool.
that's
I
awesome.
haven't seen that one, but I did recently watch one of your videos of a young girl opening an envelope, and I think it must have been her.
I cried so much when the mum sent me that video. It was lovely.
Was that her as a blastocyst then in that painting?
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah.
That's amazing that these amazing images, these children, it's a bit like I think of the children who were kind of born on One Born Every Minute.
Yeah.
You know, they have revisited, haven't they? But it's similar in terms of your artwork. These babies and the embryos that happen and that you paint actually do often successfully become children, and then they get to look at it and be like, that was me once.
have you thought about painting newborns?
Yes, but I don't think it'll happen because it's very, portrait painting is so different.
Yeah.
And 3 and 4D scans are almost like a portrait, but they're still a kind of,
You got contemporary license with it. You can. Yeah.
I don't think the portrait painting is for me, to be honest. I'll leave that to the professionals.
I just think the way that you're working, creating the work at the moment, could lend itself well to something not like a portrait, but something similar.
Yeah.
Not like a still life portrait, but like a something a bit contemporary with a bit more license to sort of.
And you are a professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be silly. You're getting paid for it.
But I see what you mean, because your work is kind of that. It's almost kind of like dreamlike and abstract, ethereal.
There we go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Quite of loose and yeah.
Yeah.
So, if people, hopefully people listening, obviously, trying to start a family themselves with IVF, and if they are interested in your work, they can go and check out the Instagram account, which is.
So at Embaby_art.
There we go, and we'll pop it on the screen and in the show notes for people to go and check out as well.
And we can link your website too. And also for people who aren't going through fertility treatment, obviously they could contact you about the sonograms too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And like, if you could give like a little sort of guideline on a time frame and stuff like that. So say people are pregnant, we get the first test, a couple of weeks later go to the doctors, get the. I hope I'm saying this right, by the way. But you go to the doctors and you get the
Scan picture.
the better pit. You get your pregnancy test at home. Then you wait for a while. Then you go in and you get the proper one, or wherever with the doctor.
I'll see you here.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then you get your 12-week scan.
There we go. So people are people that are approaching that 12-week scan and are interested in commissioning a piece of art to commemorate this special moment in people's lives. They could potentially, this is the time that they would sort of maybe think about that and maybe send you a message on Instagram. And there'll be some information. Is there anywhere where people can get some information on like, how much commissions might cost and that kind of thing?
All the prices are on my website. They are all different prices so each different. So I do single embryo, double embryo, triple embryo, different sizes within each. So A3, A4, A5. And then I do the sonogram paintings, the 3 and 4D and the routine. But also if there's not something on the website if there's they're looking for a particular piece of art that isn't on the website, I can also do sort of custom commissions. So if someone, or something like that, then
I always think it's good to sort of, when people commission me to do work for them, I always prefer like a quick little chat with them just to sort of, so they could always reach out and talk to you about.
Yeah, direct messages, emails, anything really, and we can have a chat and just see. Yeah, it's good to get people's ideas, and also if they've got a particular nursery theme or something, it's nice to actually, I say, rather than them say, I want red and green, say, oh, can you send me the curtains that you've got, or can you send me the bedding, just so I can really match it to that, or just make it fit in nicely. So, yeah.
That's a really
Amazing.
nice idea. So cool.
So we will let you go because we know that you're very, very tired, and we are a little bit behind schedule because of a few technical problems, which again I apologise for. No matter how much we prepare and get things sorted, there's always a tiny little snag. So thanks for being patient and bearing with us.
It's been so awesome to speak to you, Chloe. I just think you're such a talented person, and I bet you've got some amazing stories to tell from your midwifery journeys.
Best job in the world.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
And we'll have to get you back on again, and we'll have to speak to you like later in the year or maybe next year.
Yeah. Hopefully one day we'll be able to commission you for a portrait of some kind.
Forward to it.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, thank you so much.
Well, I really enjoyed speaking to Chloe. It was really interesting speaking to another artist, and and she's a midwife as well. That's pretty crazy that someone could have both jobs professionally.
It was also nice to have a different spin on things this week, I thought. Not someone who is actually, as far as we know, trying to conceive at the moment, but has that
connected but not
unique perspective of IVF and infertility and pregnancy and labour. It was really cool.
Don't forget, I don't know if you might have heard it in the beginning of the podcast, but we are running a giveaway. Where you can win a commissioned piece of art from Chloe, which is really, really exciting. And we won't bore you with the details of that here, but if you want to find out more, then just go over to our Instagram account, which is at Hope and Mum and Dad, and there'll be a post or a video explaining
what to do.
What to do.
Yeah, and if you're listening in the future, then sorry that it might be closed, but we hope you enjoyed the episode. And I guess following our news that we shared at the beginning of the episode, we're just kind of getting a bit more excited and hopeful about things to come now.
Yeah, hopefully. So like everyone cross your fingers for us. I know it sounds superstitious, but I'm thinking if loads of people can cross their fingers and touch some wood for us, then things might change.
Yeah, that happens a lot in our community. I think there's lots of people at different stages all the way through everyone's experience. Some people are at transfer, some people are giving birth, some people are pregnant, some people are still waiting like us for treatment. So huge positive vibes going out to everybody, and follow us over on Instagram. You can check us out on Facebook. If you're listening to,
we're on YouTube, which a lot of people listen to us on Spotify, but they don't know that we're on YouTube. We are on YouTube, and we film everything with our guests so that you can actually connect with human faces and you can see what's going on.
Because there's no easy way to kind of send you a link to YouTube, really. I guess
just
we can do link in bio.
Hope and Mum and Dad.
Yeah, so go check us out, and as always, thank you for listening. And if you are interested in coming on and sharing your story with trying to conceive, or if you've got a different angle, then reach out to us. You can contact us at hopingmumanddad@gmail.com, or on Instagram via direct message, or on Facebook too via Facebook Messenger. So get in touch, we'd love to hear from you.
Cross your fingers for us.
Bye.